Hey everyone, and welcome. This week's deep dive, well, it's taking us into the thrilling and surprisingly deep world of cars in cinema.
Oh, definitely.
You know those movies where the roar of an engine, it can make your heart skip a beat,
Right.
and a perfectly executed drift, it's like poetry in motion.
What I think is fascinating is that car movies, they seem to tap into, this kind of timeless fascination.
Yeah.
It's not just about the cars themselves, really. It's about what they represent, right?
Yeah.
Speed, power, freedom.
Oh,
These themes, they resonate with audiences,
yeah,
across generations.
absolutely. We've got a really interesting article here, and it digs into this enduring love affair between cinema and automobiles.
Yeah.
It even highlights two new films, Race for Glory and Ferrari. They're adding to this legacy. And one thing that jumped out at me was how car-centric films, they managed to reinvent themselves
Yeah.
while still delivering those, heart-pumping moments that we crave.
It's true. You take Bullitt, for instance.
Yeah, yeah.
That iconic car chase, through the streets of San Francisco. It wasn't just visually stunning.
Oh, yeah.
It became a benchmark, really, for action filmmaking.
For sure.
Then you've got The Italian Job
Yes.
with those nimble Mini Coopers, and they weren't just cars.
Yeah.
No, they were instruments of precision. It added a whole other lemmer of excitement to the heist.
Totally.
Yeah.
And we can't forget about the racing dramas.
Oh, no, for sure not.
Movies like Days of Thunder and the Fast and Furious franchise,
Yeah.
they capture the sheer intensity of the sport, but while also exploring those rivalries
Yeah.
and the camaraderie among drivers.
Yeah.
What's interesting is how these films often use cars, like a lens, to explore deeper themes, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. That's what elevates them, beyond simple action flicks.
Right.
These films, they delve into human ambition, the thrill of competition,
Yeah.
that constant push and pull between risk and reward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of ambition and competition, let's talk about Race for Glory.
Okay.
This film chronicles the legendary 1983 rally car rivalry between Audi and Lancia.
Yeah, right.
What's cool is that it's this classic underdog story.
It is. I mean, you have Lancia, right? Known for their two-wheel drive cars. They're going up against this dominant force, Audi.
Yeah.
With their innovative four-wheel drive Quattro.
Right.
It wasn't just about, who had the faster car. It was about ingenuity,
Yeah.
strategy, pushing the limits of what was possible.
Totally. The article mentioned that someone involved in the actual rivalry gave input on the film.
Wow.
So adding that layer of authenticity, especially in a genre that often embraces, a certain level of exaggeration, it must have been like crucial for the filmmakers.
It had to be. And it's interesting how the article points out the film caters to both.
What's that?
Die-hard racing enthusiasts, and then those who might be less familiar with the sport.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the speed and the roaring engines.
Right.
It's about the mental game,
Oh, yeah.
the strategies, the risks that these drivers, they take,
Yeah,
both on and off the track.
exactly. It's that combination of high-octane action and behind-the-scenes drama
Yeah.
that makes it so compelling.
Now, shifting gears to Ferrari, we see a film that takes a different approach.
Okay.
Instead of focusing solely on the races, it delves into the life of Enzo Ferrari,
Yeah.
the man behind this iconic brand.
Right, and it's directed by Michael Mann,
Oh, wow.
a filmmaker known for his stylish and atmospheric approach to storytelling.
Right.
He's incorporated cars into his previous films like Heat and Collateral.
Yeah.
But with Ferrari, he's really exploring the man behind the machine.
And the film, it zeroes in on this specific period in Enzo's life, the summer of 1957. It's a year where his racing team faces like immense pressure,
Oh, I bet.
and he's grappling with, personal tragedy.
Hmm.
I imagine that focusing on a condensed time frame like that, it allowed the filmmakers to really dig deep into the emotional core of the story.
Exactly. And it helps to ground the film.
Right.
Even if you're not a car enthusiast, you can connect with the universal themes, right? Ambition, loss,
Yeah.
the struggle to maintain control in the face of adversity.
And then there's the cast.
Right.
Adam Driver as Enzo Ferrari.
Wow.
Talk about, a powerhouse performance waiting to happen.
Yeah.
And pairing him with Penelope Cruz and Patrick Dempsey,
Right.
who actually have real-life racing
Oh,
experience.
wow.
Yeah. It sounds like they've assembled a dream team
They have.
to bring this story to life.
And let's not forget the setting.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The 1957 Mille Miglia.
Right.
This wasn't just a race. This was a grueling, dangerous test of endurance.
The article described it as almost a character itself, this looming presence that adds to the tension and drama of the film.
Wow.
It's fascinating how the setting itself can become so integral to the story.
Absolutely. And that's something that car movies, they often do so well. They transport us
Yes.
to these different worlds, these heightened realities where the stakes are high and the lines between life and death, they're blurred.
They really are. You know, it's amazing how these films, they can transport us from these, dusty rallies
Right.
to the glamour of Formula One,
Oh, yeah.
all while exploring the human drama, behind the wheel.
It really is a testament to the enduring power of storytelling, wouldn't you say?
I think so.
I mean, no matter how much technology advances, we're still drawn to these narratives about, ambition, competition,
Yeah.
pushing boundaries.
Speaking of technology, I'm curious about how the rise of things like CGI, how has that changed the game for car movies?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, back in the day, they were literally putting cameras on cars
I know.
and racing through the streets to get those shots.
It's incredible to think about the risks that they took to
To
get
do
those.
that.
But you're right. The tools available to filmmakers today, they're vastly different. I mean, with CGI, the possibilities, they're almost limitless.
Right.
You can create these incredibly complex and dynamic sequences that would be impossible to film practically.
Yeah. But does it change the thrill somehow?
I don't know.
Is there a different energy when you know a stunt is done for real versus, something that's created digitally?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think there's still something,
Yeah.
viscerally exciting about watching a practical stunt. You know that there's real danger involved.
Right.
But CGI has also kind of opened up these new avenues for creativity.
Yeah.
Take the Fast and Furious franchise, for example. I mean, those films, they've become known for their over-the-top action sequences.
Right.
Many of which are only possible because of CGI.
It's true. It's like they've redefined what's possible within the genre.
Right.
But even with all the advancements in special effects, like the heart of a good car movie,
Mhm.
it still lies in the characters, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I mean, we need to be invested in the drivers,
Wow.
their motivations, and their relationships.
Yeah.
That's what makes the action on screen meaningful. Think about Steve McQueen in Bullitt.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he exuded this effortless cool
Yes.
that made him, both relatable and aspirational.
He truly embodied that role. It wasn't just about the car chases. It was about his presence,
Yes.
his charisma.
Yeah.
And that's something that can't be, replicated with CGI.
Exactly.
I read somewhere that Lewis Hamilton,
Ooh.
one of the most successful Formula One drivers of all time,
Oh, yeah. Of course.
is rumored to have a cameo in that upcoming Brad Pitt film we discussed earlier.
Oh, really? I did see that.
Yeah.
Having someone with his level of expertise involved, I think it adds a certain credibility to the project. It's like a stamp of approval
Totally.
from the racing world. And speaking of that Brad Pitt film,
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued by the fact that it's being directed by Joseph Kosinski,
Okay.
who also directed Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, that's a brilliant connection.
Yeah.
He certainly knows how to deliver that high octane action and heart-stopping aerial sequences.
He does. If he brings even half of that energy
Yeah,
to the world of Formula One, we are in for a wild ride.
for sure.
It seems like the film will touch on the mentorship dynamic with Pitt's character, a seasoned driver coming out of retirement
Okay.
to guide, this talented rookie, which is, a classic storytelling trope.
Oh, for sure.
But it's always effective.
It is. There's something inherently compelling about watching that transfer of knowledge and experience, especially within a high-stakes world like Formula One.
I agree.
It adds an emotional layer to the action.
And it allows for some great character development as both the mentor and the mentee kind of learn from each other. You know, it's interesting how car movies, they often tap into this primal urge for freedom.
Oh, totally.
That sense of escaping the everyday, you know, of hitting the open road and leaving your troubles in the dust.
It's true. Think about films like Thelma and Louise.
Oh, yeah.
They used the car as a symbol of liberation, of breaking free from societal constraints.
Yeah.
It's no wonder those stories, they continue to resonate with audiences.
Absolutely. And it makes you wonder, you know, with the rise of self-driving cars and the increasing presence of technology in our lives,
Right.
will that yearning for the open road, for that sense of autonomy and escape, will it become even more potent in the stories that we tell?
That's a fascinating thought.
Right?
Will the car, once, a symbol of individual freedom, take on like new meaning in a future that's dominated by automation?
They could.
Will we see a return to those classic, road trip narratives, but with a futuristic twist?
It's certainly possible. Imagine a group of friends embarking on this cross-country road trip in their electric self-driving vehicles. But instead of focusing on the journey itself, the film explores the relationships, their hopes, their anxieties as they navigate this rapidly changing world.
That's a story I could get behind. It's like those classic themes of self-discovery and escape are being reframed within the context of our current technological and societal landscape.
Right.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities.
It is, and it shows how car movies, far from being stuck in the past,
right,
they have the potential to reflect our evolving relationship with technology, with the environment, and with each other.
We've talked a lot about the action and the spectacle, but some of the most memorable car movies are those that also deliver those moments of genuine human connection, like in Days of Thunder.
Oh yeah.
When Tom Cruise's character he forms that unexpected bond with his rival, played by Robert Duvall.
It's true. Those moments of shared passion, of respect that transcends competition. They add such depth to these stories. They remind us that even in the high stakes world of racing, human connection is paramount.
Absolutely. It's those moments of vulnerability, of camaraderie that elevate these films beyond simple action flicks,
right,
and allow us to connect with the characters on a deeper level. It's amazing how even in a genre known for like its adrenaline,
right,
and spectacle, those quiet moments of human connection, they can be the ones that really stick with you.
It's true. They add a layer of emotional depth. That elevates the entire experience, and it speaks to the power of car movies to surprise us.
Right.
They lure you in with the promise of fast cars and thrilling chases, but then they deliver these surprisingly profound moments of reflection.
Absolutely. You think you're settling in for like a simple action flick, and then suddenly you're grappling with themes of ambition, loss, redemption.
Right.
It's like the filmmakers have like snuck in this whole other layer of storytelling beneath the surface.
Exactly. And they managed to do it, without sacrificing any of the excitement. It's a delicate balance, but when it's done well, it's masterful. Take Drive, for instance.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that film, it has this incredible style, this pulsating energy, but it also manages to be incredibly introspective, even melancholic at times.
That's a great example. Ryan Gosling's performance in that film, it's so understated.
I know.
So internal. Yet it speaks volumes about his character's, inner turmoil.
But it does.
And the way the film uses music, those synth-heavy tracks, it creates this almost hypnotic atmosphere that draws you into the character's headspace.
Precisely. It's those, those unexpected choices, those moments where the filmmakers, they subvert expectations. That's what makes these films so compelling.
Right.
And it's a reminder that even within a genre that's often associated with, there's room for complexity,
Yeah.
for nuance,
Yeah.
for exploring the full spectrum of human emotion.
Absolutely. It's not just about the cars.
No.
It's about the people, behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Their stories, their struggles, their triumphs. And that brings us back to something we touched on earlier.
Okay.
The evolving landscape of car movies.
Right.
As we see more, diversity
Yeah.
in front of and behind the camera.
Right.
I'm curious to see how that will translate into like new and exciting stories being told within this genre.
I agree. Imagine a heist film like Gone in 60 Seconds, but instead of a crew of, seasoned car thieves,
Yeah.
it's a group of young, tech-savvy individuals who use their skills
Right.
to pull off this impossible cyber heist
Yeah.
involving self-driving cars, or a coming-of-age story set against the backdrop of an underground electric car racing circuit.
Those are great ideas.
Right.
And it's exciting to think about how these films can reflect our changing relationship with technology, with the environment,
Yeah.
with each other.
Or each other. Yeah.
We might even see more stories that explore the ethical dilemmas
Oh, interesting.
surrounding, self-driving cars,
Yeah.
artificial intelligence, the future of transportation.
Absolutely. Imagine a suspense thriller
Okay.
where a self-driving car malfunctions, trapping the passengers inside while it careens through city streets.
Oh, wow.
Or a thought-provoking drama that examines the social and economic implications of a world where human drivers are obsolete.
The possibilities, they're endless.
Mm-hmm.
And it just goes to show that car movies, far from being, a relic of the past,
Right.
have the potential to remain relevant, thought-provoking, and thrilling for generations to come.
For sure.
It's a genre that's constantly evolving,
Yeah.
reflecting our changing worlds and the timeless allure of the open road.
Well said. And as technology continues to advance, who knows,
I know.
what incredible cinematic experiences await us. One thing's for sure. It's going to be a fascinating ride.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the world of cars and cinema.
It's been a pleasure.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
From classic car chases
Right.
to the future of the genre. We've explored, the technical advancements, the evolving characters, and the enduring themes that make these films so captivating. But most importantly, we've had a chance to geek out over our shared love of cars and movies.
It's been a pleasure, and I hope our listeners have enjoyed this journey as much as we have.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. What are some of your favorite car movies? And what do you think the future holds for this exciting genre?